Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
Listen, shout out to everybody. You already know what it is. It's Flight Sports TV. Man, what a game. You know, I think that's something that we got to acknowledge right now. This was a crazy game one. Homage must be paid once again. Tyrese Haliburton at the buzzer. I mean, who the hell seen this coming? I was watching this game the whole time. I'm like, yo, Oklahoma City, they in trouble. You know, the whole time I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, yo, they about to fumble the whole bag. You know, I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. Indiana did it again. Tyrese Haliburton is a complete superstar. You know, the man didn't even win Finals MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Yeah, this man is highly pissed off. This guy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, was having an epic performance. You know, let me tell you something right now. Indiana gonna win the championship. You know, this validates every reason why the New York Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau. You know, you can't have this. You know, Oklahoma City, they not that good. You know, they're not that good. Shout out to Slim Can Hoop. He says, what the hell? Yo, man, Haliburton, man, he went off. And it looked like he was having a slow game. You know, as you was watching it, it looked like Haliburton was kind of slow to the party. You like, well, when is Tyrese Haliburton gonna wake up? But he did. This guy right here balled out of control, man. I was just completely shocked at this dude. You know, he's one of the best point guards in the NBA. You know, that's what he's proven. Arguably one of the best players. Haliburton tonight had 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, relatively having a shitty game. If you was watching it, you would think like this guy was wasting his time. Like, what the hell was Tyrese Haliburton doing out there? People was ready to write him off. You know, they was about to do him filthy. But nonetheless, he did it at the end. In the fourth quarter, first things first, Turner was really doing it. You know, he don't get enough credit. And as you've seen Rick Carlisle, this guy's like a master manipulator with the roster. This guy, Carlisle, just mixing shit, turning this and putting this guy in the rotation, taking him out. You know, it's just, he just mixing and mastering different lineups and figuring out what's working. That's what Carlisle was doing. He got Oklahoma City on the ropes. And what they just did to Oklahoma City is something they never faced. They just got a devastating, you know, fatal blow. You know, that was a tough shot that they took tonight. They did it to every team, and they just did it to Oklahoma City. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was having a game, but in the fourth quarter, I think he went cold. You know, he really didn't have much. Oklahoma City should have won this game. They're going to be looking at themselves like, what the hell happened? They're experiencing something that they haven't experienced. Now we're going to see the will of OKC. A lot of people thought that Indiana couldn't win. I was listening to Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins was talking like, listen, nobody can win it in OKC and Indiana. They're not going to be able to go in there and win. I'm thinking to myself, like, Indiana, they just was in New York City in Madison Square Garden and won, you know, I'm just saying several games. So I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is going to be so crazy and grand about playing in Oklahoma City. They rolled up in there and they was just patient as ever. You talking about the mentality of the coach. I mean, Carlisle just cooling. He ain't even, he just wanted to give his team a position, to be successful. And in the fourth quarter, they gave it to Haliburton. This team, they collectively, Obi Toppin, if you're the New York Knicks, man, you gotta feel like you're ready to throw up, man. Because me as a Knicks fan, I'm ready to throw up. You had Hartenstein tonight. He was pretty good, 9-9. But let me tell you something. What OKC is figuring out right now, they have to adjust their lineup to match what's happening with Indiana. Chet Holmgren, they're gonna run his ass off the floor. They're gonna make Chet just unplayable, and that's what they did. Chet Holmgren, this guy tonight 6 points. People are gonna look at him like, what the hell happened? Despite them having a decent game, and like I said, Oklahoma City should have did something. This offense looks a little shaky. They look a little too Shea centric. He had 38 points tonight. Nemhard was just wearing his ass down. Nemhard just danced on somebody too, and hit a step back three in the fourth. It just seemed like it looked like we was just watching a goddamn rerun. The Indiana Pacers just coming back and beating every goddamn body. They're gonna win the championship. They listen. You got Rick Carlisle over there. He on the mission. This is going to be devastating. This is going to change, the foundation of the league. Haliburton is going to have that crown. We talking about the faces and this and that. These guys got a championship under their belt. Everybody retooling like they're going to be able to do this and that to Indiana. And I don't know about all of that. Indiana's still going to be a threat next season, with their style of play. Rick Carlisle, he was ran the hell up out of Dallas. They chose Luka. They don't even got Luka no more. And this is just crazy. I'm impressed, with Tyrese Haliburton tonight. Even like I said, 14 points. What was most impressive was, like I said, he didn't rush nothing. It was time, like I said, I thought he had a terrible game. I was like, yo, what the hell happened to Tyrese Haliburton? I was like, this guy's having another one of those blunders. That's what I was looking at when I seen Tyrese. But Obi Toppin 17 points. He just had him hanging around. Turner 15, Siakam. Everybody who came in tonight contributed. Everybody could say, man, we did it together. Everybody, including Thomas Bryant. Everybody who came in for Indiana did something. OKC blew this game. That's going to be the story. You know what it is? They suffered what New York did. And I heard Obi Toppin speak in game one of the New York Knicks after they came back in that game. He said how you got to play them the whole entire game, 48 minutes. The Knicks got lackadaisical. What I seen from Oklahoma City tonight, they had a nice lead. I felt like they got a little careless and thought that the game was in the bag. They didn't play the complete 48 minutes, and before you know it, OKC was on the ropes. And they playing, it's messed up because what's happening now with them, they running Hartenstein and they running Holmgren off the floor. And I had a feeling something like that was going to happen. Everybody was talking about Hartenstein, Holmgren. When you look at Oklahoma City, outside of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who the hell is on this roster? Who the hell is Joe? You understand? I mean, you got this kid Wallace. These are some overachievers. We just got to keep it 100. They're not superstars. They're overachievers, and right now they're running into a fucking roadblock because Indiana, they're a veteran team. OKC, this is a young basketball team. Even though they the favorite, it was the top this, top that. it's starting to feel like Cleveland. I think this series is gonna go like Cleveland. And I think Indiana's gonna take them out the way they did Cleveland. Indiana, let's see if OKC. Listen, OKC, they was the number one seed all season long. They could go to Indy and win a game. New York went to Indy to win a game. I think that Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken, did Milwaukee go in there or did they get swept? I forgot. But this is just terrible, if you Oklahoma City, because this is a young team. They're very confident. They have that swagger. They just got a whole bunch of rollies. Shea ran around giving out watches. So we got to see how they respond to something like this, because they haven't experienced nothing like this before. So we got to see, are they going to crumble? Are they going to get blown out in game 2 because they're so devastated about game 1? This series could go a multitude of ways. But Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, he's the one man. He's just a one-man option. And they just seen, what's the name do that? With Jalen Brunson. After they had to take care of Jalen Brunson, now they ready for Shea. Shea is the MVP of the league. Haliburton just took out the MVP at the buzzer. This makes him even more credible as a superstar, because when the game mattered most, this is the finals. This is not Tuesday or Wednesday on ESPN. This is the NBA Finals. The stage don't get no bigger. So I don't know what people want to see, but I see it firsthand. The man is a superstar. This does feel like the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, this feels like a repeat. Your Bucks got a gentleman's sweep. Yeah, I think the way shit looking, this could be a gentleman's sweep. I got no panic in the building. No panic. What the hell did we just witness?
Shit, I don't even see the game. I don't even see the game. I just keep hearing about the shit.
Oh man, Indiana did it again. Classic Indy fashion. They came back on them, man. OKC was in trouble. It looked like they was adjusting to their lineup. They put them in a bind. Obi Toppin went off. Turner. What's my man name? Haliburton tonight. He was slow to the party. He didn't really do much. And then
listen, I'm about to say it sound like a Hali game.
Yeah, he hit the game winner. He hit a game winner.
Yeah, sound like his game. He don't really do too much throughout the game, and then towards the end, it's like he catch some little spark.
Yeah, I just think that this was just ridiculous, in my humble opinion. McConnell went in. The OKC, they have received a devastating blow. I wonder if they can come back from something like this. I guess you're gonna have to see. You didn't see the highlights, anything like that. You're gonna have to check it out. But I mean, what you think is the state of OKC after losing game 1? Do you think they can come back and win the series?
I can tell you one thing: they ain't the Knicks. They ain't gonna let this loss right here just be something. I look at this loss right here, like just from a standpoint of me actually seeing the game, nothing like that. Just from the standpoint of it seemed like even the game with the OKC Thunder had the game in hand throughout the game, and then boom, come back, lost, let it slip. I think they want more like the 2000 Lakers. But 2001 Lakers, when they lose that one game, and you're like, okay, cool. Once they got the gentleman sweep, I think Haliburton get us off in this game. I don't know how he look, but shit, I don't think Thunder built like how the Knicks built, with his go-to guy. Like instead of Brunson, you got Shea. Shea ain't gonna fold. I don't give a fuck what you do. Ain't no guard you can put on him that gonna big boy him. Ain't no guard small enough that gonna be stealing the ball from him, no shit like that. Like,
hey man, I got a question. One, what is Haliburton? Doesn't this make him even more of a superstar after hitting the game winner in the finals?
Nope.
What the hell does he have to do? Win a championship? I mean, how he gonna
I
win
mean,
the?
but see, that ain't how superstars made. That's the problem. People, just like with Tatum, people want Tatum to be a superstar. People saying Tatum not a superstar instead of looking at it like, well, he ain't a superstar. They looking at it like, oh, they only saying that because y'all hating on him. But the fact is, when he first come in the league, he had a team around him. He had Kyrie, Horford, Gordon Hayward coming up for All-Star season, Rozier, Brown. He had a whole roster with him. Even to this day, he still got a whole roster with him. We ain't never see Tatum go through no shit. With Haliburton, you can't just hit these miracle shots. You're gonna be a legend now. Don't get me wrong. People gonna talk about, hey man, when Hali had that little run. People gonna talk about that, but he ain't got the story yet. Like, no, like that don't make you a superstar. Like, you got to be doing that shit on both sides. Whether offense, defense. That mean when it comes to a certain point in the game, is like when I look at a Jordan, a Kobe Bryant, even LeBron to a certain extent. Offensively, you giving me everything. Pause. And defensively, it's like, okay, cool. You can take over a game defensively too. We don't like with LeBron, like for whatever anybody want to say about him in his later years as far as defense concerned, whatever. But when he was younger, like shit, he ain't been a lock or nothing like that. But LeBron been a race and shit. So at the end of the day, if you ain't got that on your team, you ain't winning the championship. Haliburton don't strike me as somebody who can offensively take over the game or defensively take over the game. Like if you look at his game really more like LaMelo without the scoring. Make all the right plays, high IQ. But I don't even call it IQ, just so much like instincts. So it's like, I mean, then when you get in the half court, Haliburton, you can kind of slow him down because if you think about it, he just now start really like, you know what, I'm gonna start taking over. Like if at a certain point in the game, I'm gonna take this shot. That ain't really been them all season. Like them boys been kind of like teamwork, try to figure out shit. But I mean, I don't know. I just can't put him in that superstar status right now. Like even if you win a championship, like that shit, that don't. Nah, superstars is only like what 2 or 3 in the league right now. If that, Steph, LeBron, what other superstar? Because superstar come with the off the court thing too.
Yeah. Well, he just released a new shoe, you know, and he unveiled that he just hit a game winner in the new shoe. I mean,
Ain't nobody wearing
what way to
Halliburton's.
promote?
Ain't
Yes.
nobody wearing them shit. Like I
No,
was
it
saying,
just can't. It never released. It's new. He never released it yet. It's just like it's the first, visual of it.
I know what I was saying is going forward, nobody gonna be wearing that shit. Now I ain't saying nobody like nobody at all. Of course, people gonna buy them, but that shit ain't gonna be no shoe that's like when you think of a basketball shoes from a hooper perspective. The top 3 shoes from a hooper perspective. When you just look at that hooping, and you gotta look at Paul George got some good hooping shoes. Kyrie got some good shoes. Um, who else? Kobe always has some good shoes. Like far just straight up hooping. Then when you look at the other aspect is like the cats with the design of it, like the Jordans, or if you look at the KDs and shit like that, them shoes look good, but you can't hoop in them. Halliburton don't fit on either side because one side of it, like his shoes kind of look like every other shoes that come out after Kyrie colorways. If you really think about it. And then as far as performance wise, I mean I can't speak to it because I never had a shoe on. What else had them on. But outside of that, like I mean shit. And that alone don't make you a superstar. Like I don't see Haliburton in the light of he can offensively take over game, defensively take over game. When it come to like off the court shit, like I mean I understand he ain't marketable now like this. I mean most players marketable. It's just I know I just can't see him in that realm. I just don't see him when I think of superstars throughout the league, even ones that's retired already. It's like even with Iverson, would you call Iverson a superstar?
Of course.
I wouldn't look at Iverson like a superstar.
Oh
Even though
my.
like the same thing is with like Michael Vick, like to me they game changing. But I can
Oh,
necessarily say he's a superstar because of that. Because Kobe ain't been game changing, but he been superstar. LeBron, I don't feel like it's game changing because we had a Magic Johnson, but he's a superstar. With Haliburton, I don't feel like he game changing. Like, I mean, shit, I don't know. I just didn't look at it like that. Like even with Paul Pierce had a run. People don't be talking about, but I don't look at. I never had seen him as a superstar. T Mac, like I never see T Mac as like a superstar. Star, yeah, but not a superstar. It's like every generation is really only like 1 or 2 real superstars.
no, but like I said, that was an epic shot. Shout out to them. You know, they had a great performance. I got to give them credit. I was really impressed, you know, with Indiana. You know, I really think that Indiana they're gonna win the title. You know, I mean, I'm just even just being honest. That's not something I want to see. Um, this is gonna be devastating. You know, for players that's in his class, players that's in his age range, because we're gonna have to start moving some people over. You know, no matter, like I said, no matter what you're saying, no matter what everybody is saying, he just continues to check the boxes. And, you know, don't think that this time around they're going to give it to Pascal Siakam if they win it. You know, so this MVP might, you know, be the end all be all. So him winning finals MVP, taking out the MVP of the league, um, after taking out Brunson, taking out um, Giannis, Dame. You see him and Dame was getting into it. He sat Dame ass down. He tore his Achilles, if I'm not mistaken. Um, you see what happened to Cleveland, and now the MVP. I mean, this is one epic run. We just got to call it how we see it. We can't say people was injured, people was this, and people was that. As I was watching the game, Oklahoma, I'm like, who the hell do they have out here? You know, the coach started adjusting to Indiana, and that's never good. You know, that let me know that they was on the ropes. They was having a hard time scoring. It was very Shea centric as it got crunch time and palms got sweaty. Um, and they blew the game. It's just no other way to say it. Turner was going off. Then they took Turner out, running Obi, and I was like, damn, Turner was cooking. You know, but that's just the way the Carlisle run his team. You know, he's just strength in numbers. He just people in and out the lineup. This gonna be
And
an
that's
epic
why
situation.
that kind of why that not why, but that kind of lends to the argument that he ain't a superstar because like he do play in a system where it's like everybody
Carlisle's
want to
all
eat.
over this. His hands is all over this shit.
Yeah, so it's like even when you talk about the rule to get here, I could never take away from a player rule to get to finals or championship, regardless of injuries or not. But if you trying to use the run in the playoffs as a qualifier for him, you know, whether he being a superstar or not based off of that, it's like I can push. I would push back on that because it's like if you add context to it, it's like okay, first round with Giannis, okay, cool. That team ain't been right since they start the season off right, fire their coach, and they ain't been right since. So it's like they ain't really been a series where you been like, yeah, they just gonna get past Indiana and that gonna be it. And then when you look at the New York series, like I can say everybody, because of course New York is probably I feel like New York won the championship winning team. New York got a lot of talent, but it gets to a point where like how much can you depend on a 6 foot guard or 6 foot? I don't want to say how tall he because he might be 6'2", but he's got a smaller stature. And it's like how much can you depend on that just being your offense and hopefully Cat from time to time. You see the reports come out they've been trying to trade Cat for KD. That's because probably they need somebody. But we don't need you to drop 35, but we need somebody with a steady 25 or 95. So that's all we're really asking for. We got Mitchell Robinson coming back. Whatever the case may be. And then when you look at Cleveland, whoever looked at Cleveland and thought Cleveland was doing something, they did the same shit the last 2 years, being a top seed and then get to the playoffs and it's like, yeah, small at the perimeter, like always. Well, not like always, but like always when it comes to Donovan Mitchell led teams, like the perimeter always the main issue defensively.
Yeah,
So it's
like I
like if
said,
you look at the context of that, it's like that's not one of them runs that it's like, you know what? This made him blah blah blah. This, that, and the third. So like with Kawhi, do you think that run with Kawhi to the championship when he been with Toronto, you think that been one you think that run been like better than what's the run LeBron been on where he ain't win? That last run with
well,
Cleveland. That last run with Cleveland with JR make the mistake. You think that Toronto run with Kawhi Leonard been more impactful or more like I can't really say how I want to say it because I can't really compare the two since one's a win and one's a loss. But I just feel like the run when you put context to it, I don't think the run gonna make him a superstar I just don't look at superstars being made that way. If you want to say you're a star, like, okay, cool, like, I ain't gonna argue that, but a superstar is a scratch.
I mean, like I said, he balling, you know. So I
Yeah,
mean,
can't take that
I
from him.
got to give him props. He's 3 wins away from an NBA title. It's going to be interesting to see what happens after this. I think that people like LaMelo Ball need to take notice. Anthony Edwards, you know, you start to think about it, man. You know, what does he have that that none of these other guys have? Because it's not like he has another bona fide superstar next to him. Turner is a good player. He's got a
Pascal's
collection.
also,
Is the system, and the coach, like we was just saying. You got to be coached by. He's got something that none of them have. A coach that won a championship, and he got a chip on his shoulder from the way they pushed him out in Dallas.
yeah, you forget Pascal, but an all-star. Like, Pascal ain't, like, Washington or shit like that.
Yep, and he played, and that he was in there. OG didn't play. He got a ring. You know, they say he's a champion with the Raptors and shit, but he was hurt. You know, that whole playoff, if I'm not mistaken. OG wasn't even available. But Siakam played. You know, and he was like from one of him with Van Vliet. You know, they had everything, Gasol and everybody. They were destined. Um, so it's just Indiana, man. They're a good team. You
Yeah,
know,
them boy got all-star Pascal. Damn, Haliburton been an all-star, and he just been on the team, USA team. Shit, Miles Turner, like, I want to say Miles. No, I don't think Miles Turner had an NBA all-star game or whatever. But he
no,
always been a good center. He just always been on a bad Pacers team or Pacers team that ain't really catered to her strength. And they always had him in trade talk. So it's like he been there for a lot of the Indiana years where they just really they ain't been tanking, but he been like they ain't really had shit going on with Sabonis and all that. And him and Sabonis playing next to each other, but stupid because shit Turner can shoot to a certain extent. Sabonis want to play in the high post. It's like who want to play low post? So like Indiana got a good squadron of players now, like shit. And like they just got sad ass Ross and they put them together. They just like OKC, like they got their mainstay, they got their secondary, and they got their one that a wild card player. Like he might go off this game, he might not. If he go off, we good. If not, hey, I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, like I said, this is crazy. You know, it's happened again. Sky says this shit is rigged.
yeah, I don't think you're rigged. I think Haliburton. See, and then thing about it, people gotta understand, bro. Like, you got some players that they don't let the lights bother them. So even if they ain't the best player on the team, you kind of still want them to be taking them shots. Haliburton
I
don't
mean,
seem like the light bother him. That's all he is. I mean,
yeah.
shit.
Well,
You got
I mean, Sky said for betting purposes, man. You know, people who bet, a lot of people they don't even be watching. You know, they going off Vegas and the odds and shit. You know, you just look at OK. They just telling you that OKC is this overwhelming favorite. That's what the people are telling people who don't know anything really about what's happening. You know, so people with money just gonna shit, just put it on OKC, put the house on OKC. You know, and then look what happened. If you was watching the playoffs and seeing how India is trending, you know, you would know that these motherfuckers come back. You know, and they surging right now, you know. So it's like you better watch out. You might want to put it on Indy, you know, because I had Indy winning the series. I told all of y'all that, you know. I said I got Indiana gonna win the championship.
and they
Uh,
ain't one of this.
I
They
believe
ain't
they're
one of
gonna win it
this.
all.
I just can't see it. They ain't one of this.
They're gonna win it. That well, you better believe it.
You know why? You know the like, because I had the Knicks winning. I had the Knicks beating the Pacers in 6.
I'm actually happy they fired Thibodeau now because look
Bro,
what happened.
man, listen.
Knicks
When
supposed to
I
win.
see that
Knicks
shit, I've
win.
been like, man, I wonder what Flight got to say about that. I'm gonna watch a video and shit.
It's fu-
I actually used to
it's
talk
really
to him about
messed
that.
up. How I was watching it, I was very sad because I'm watching Hartenstein. And Hartenstein was cooking in the beginning, you know, because that's what I think Indy does. Indy kind of plays big. I'm gonna go back to Hartenstein for a second. They play big, like they'll put Turner in, and you know, I think OKC like that style. You could play Chet, you could play Hartenstein, but once they pull these motherfuckers out and put Siakam out there and Toppin, now it's a problem. You know, because they playing like guards. You know, so now you're in trouble, and that's what happened with OKC. But to the Knicks' credit, man, just watching Hartenstein cook, watching, you know, just what's going on with Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin was one of the goddamn guys that led them back 17 off the bench. You know, I mean, I'm looking like the Knicks just gave him away. They didn't get anything back for him.
And that's why I've been trying to tell you why those had to been fired. I keep trying to tell y'all that, like, you got to think about it like this. He had, before the roster he had right now, he had Hartenstein, who in the finals. He had Toppin, who in the finals. I ain't saying that these two players is a driving force behind it, but these two players is like they like the
Look
piece you
where they
throw
at.
in.
And
Yeah,
then
it's
even
like the
to a
piece you
lesser
throw in to
degree,
help in a rotation.
yeah, then to a lesser degree, the people who lost in the previous round,
Yeah.
DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo saved the Knicks countless times last year in the playoffs. You know, he was the only one hitting threes when they went cold. You know,
Julius
so he was like,
Randle.
damn, just give it to DiVincenzo, goddammit.
See, they lose all these different players that matter to teams that's deep in the playoffs. They deep in the playoffs. Then y'all give him a team where he got arguably the best two-way roster in the league as far as like talent concerned. Because offensively, like shit, you ain't gonna find too much individual offensive players better than, or not better than, but that can score better than Jalen Brunson. Defensively, you ain't gonna find too much teams with as much defenders, wing defenders as the Knicks got, as far as Bridges and OG, and Dan Hart to a certain extent. You give him those two iterations of the roster. You had a Julius Randle led roster, and then the Julius Brunson led roster, and then you got this iteration of it, and you ain't won yet. And you got maybe one more year with all these players to being able to be together. Y'all got enough assets to trade away some players, but not the core. Some players to go get an impact player or a player that can help y'all win or stabilize your offensive identity. And it's like, you rather do all that with Thibs for one more year or find somebody else who can put this shit together within this year. That's how this shit goes. So it's like firing Thibs was the only answer. Trading Cat would have been cool to trade for KD, but at the end of the day, it's like, shit. You think KD would last a whole season and being in that six, gotta play defense all season because he can't be like how Cat button because he ain't gonna be playing the 4, the 5, not the 5, but the 4, whatnot. So it's like you need a new coach to try to put this talent together and make this shit work. Cause this style, Katie don't for this style.
Yeah. You ain't lying.
So Dubs had to go at the end of the day, like shit. Ain't the GM and shit give you all the talent you need. The GM said, "Oh, what you want to do? What kind of philosophy you got? Or you want to just ground and pound as far as like defensively? You want to just be like, don't okay, cool. We gonna get you some wing defenders. What else you need offensively? I mean, we can get a good score. Get your Brunson. They get this man everything he need to make his philosophy work. Because his philosophy is, we only playing 6, 7, 8 deep, and everybody got to play offense and defense. Brunson the only exception because that's the only Brunson probably the only player I ever see. I think he don't play with that. I mean that he on course that I feel had that much offensive freedom and they ain't really had to do nothing defensively. Because he didn't even give that leeway to Kimber when he come over there.
Yeah,
He
that's
ain't give fucking Kimber drop 50. Like, yeah, what did you do defensively?
You got a good call
Yeah, man. Dubs, I say Dubs would be a good coach if he wasn't the assistants to whatnot, where it's like you got a certain philosophy for your defense, and it's like, cool, this what I do that works. Because like I say, like his team's always good defensively, but I mean, them Jimmy Butler's rosters we ain't going by so far. Like if you take Shea and put Shea with New York, they win a chip.
It's possible. He's bigger than Brunson.
Yeah. He ain't gonna be as much as a target defensively, so you can run your defense and you can at this point you ain't gotta just hide. You ain't gotta hide Cat and Brunson. You can just hide Cat.
Yo, when
Put
it
Cat
came
in
down,
favorable defensive situations.
I tell you what, in this game, when it came down at the end, Indiana had better players in the game at the last second. That's just how I felt. I like the players that Indy had in better. Lou Dort. I'm telling you, these people start looking like no names, like
They
Dort,
hard working ass
Williams.
players. They a
Like,
bunch of quiet ass Patrick Beverleys with actual defensive like actually impacting defense impacting the game defensively instead of like just being out there going crazy. Because Pat Beverly don't be doing shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody said.
and this coach getting cooked too. I'm
That's why I
listening.
went back to it down the stretch. But, you know, when we're small, we have to be pressure oriented and contain the ball. And I thought they got some cracks against us that hurt us a little bit more than the post ups
This
did.
is the
But we'll look at everything.
Indiana.
We obviously have to be better if we want to win
Oklahoma
games,
City's
too.
head coach.
Next row back. Yeah, you had a starting lineup change. What was the reasoning going to Wallace and then late you closed with both
Wallace.
centers? Are you
Who the
seeing
hell
at
is
least early
Wallace?
This might be a smaller series?
Jason Wallace.
It was brilliant. That was obviously the intention. I thought getting Kaysen out there, really defensively, giving us another perimeter guy for Haliburton and Nemhard. That was the idea there.
So this motherfucker started making adjustments before the game started.
Kaysen started 40-something games. We changed the lineup a million times. We obviously heading in the playoffs, but that's why we do it during the regular season, is so that it's not
The first time he changed his lineup.
So I thought the guys adapted. We got off to good starts in both halves. But we'll see how the series goes. I mean, we obviously have a lot of optionality. We'll look at everything. We'll look at anything we can to try to give ourselves the best chance to win.
What I will say is this, because right now people might start writing them off. The last time when they lost to Minnesota, when Minnesota beat them, they just shitting on them after that. So they closed the door on them. So let's hold out and let's watch game 2. And I'm gonna see. I want to know, is it going to be, Indiana doing what they've been doing to everybody else, or is Oklahoma City gonna shut the door on them?
It's going 5 or 6.
Oh, it's probably going 7 now because
I know
blew
ain't
this
going.
game.
No,
This
hell
game
no.
this series is a lot more even. Nobody's. I don't think OKC was never overwhelmingly better than them. And another thing, they running Chet and Hartenstein off the floor is to the point where they unplayable. That's some shit that nobody's talking about. And they unplayable. Who the hell is Wallace and all these other people? And what the hell?
Like I said, OKC
this
kind of
bad.
just like Indiana. They got some people they run out the bench too.
Nemhard is really good. This dude Nemhard danced on that dude and somebody hit a 3. I forgot who the hell it was. But like I said, they had this guy Williams, Wallace out there. I don't even think Caruso out there in crunch time. I think they took. I don't even know. But yeah, they screwed up. They should have had this game. This don't make sense.
Hey, think about it, like the Final Four teams, but 2 of the teams been probably two of the best defensive teams in the league. 2 of them probably the best teams in the league, and the 2 best teams in the league playing each other from each conference. Because Minnesota defense good as hell, but like shit, they playing the whole team. Just like with Knicks, like y'all gonna be good as hell defensively, but y'all gotta beat the team. So now it's gonna come down to basically like them benches gonna get empty. Shit, you might see you might see 20 to 22 different players on the court next time they play. Both of them might go 10 deep to try to at least try to get an edge as far as energy. Because I feel like that's how Indiana get over the Knicks the first couple of games, tiring them out.
They did something.
After that first one, they just been like, shit, we gotta win. We ain't even need to win the game 2, but the Knicks come out game 2 trying to get a big ass lead, and he not playing bad. I don't think OKC do that. I think OKC come out and beat them by like 40. What they play again Saturday? I feel like they come out and beat them by like 40. It might not be 40 now. It might not be 40, but I can see them boy getting their ass cut. I can see OKC cutting their ass next time they play.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be key.
That's a 68 win team now. Like I know record don't mean much because it's the playoffs now, but people sleep on how good OKC really been during the regular season and how good they been in the playoffs. Like they probably the only team that really just ain't had no real sweat to get there. Like they just been handling their business.
Yeah.
It feel like with the how the Celtics been last year, where you ain't really been hearing too much about the Celtics, and then boom, they in the finals playing the Mavs.
Yeah.
And been quietly dominating that whole fucking run.
Yeah, I can't believe the Pacers did that. I'm just looking at all this stuff.
I've only been like 3 minutes left. I looked at my phone. It's been like 108 to like 96 or something like that. I look again. That should say 111, 110 final. I said, what the fuck?
He did the same thing against the Knicks.
Yeah, like he bullying his legend. Yeah, he bullying his legend up now. Like
I think that was Wallace who was on him. He was like, who the hell is that? Wallace was hopeless when that shot went in.
The Pacers banking on we better hoopers at the end of the day. That's what the Pacers banking on. Whoever got the ball, we banking on. If Neesmith got the ball and y'all want to put y'all 7th man in y'all rotation in the game and play on them, I betting on all 7th man being better than y'all 7th man.
That's crazy.
But like you said, Haliburton ain't really been doing that most of the game. Shit, that's kind of his game. He be quietly getting them low, triple double-ish looking numbers. Then when the game kind of on the line, like it's like shit. It don't like they be. It's not like they go to him and say, "Go get us a couple of buckets." It's like the ball get to him and like he's in hitting the shot. Like he do got that, like he got that factor, that magical little factor to him, like that superstars have. But it's just too like I can't say superstar. I just can't go that far. But he do got like remnants of that shit. He got that Luka shit, but not as much as Luka.
He a beast, man. That's all I can tell you, man. I mean, it was really good. I don't know what more when people got to give him his credit. I know it's unfortunate. We big Melo fans, but we got to acknowledge this.
I feel like he get his credit. I just feel like shit. I know. I just feel like superstar just a scratch. That's all. But he do get his credit. He like I say, like sometimes it be somebody will say something about a player, and people and everybody will take it differently than what it is. Like me saying he ain't a superstar ain't me also saying he trash and shit like that. It's just it's just like you keep like how people say with consistency is like shit. You got to do the same shit year in and year out, year in and year out. Like ain't no 14, 10, and 7 game and you barely there and then you come out the blue like that shit don't. That just don't move me enough to be a superstar. You know how remember how you feel watching damn Jordan and Kobe and certain players like that's just been a different vibe. But shit, if you win this championship here, he still ain't gonna be a superstar, but he definitely definitely gonna be all NBA for the next couple of years. He definitely gonna get that treatment.
I mean, this is horrifying. This is how do they keep doing? Mark Williams said, "How do they keep doing this?" I'm like, this is teams need to take heed. Haliburton putting people on notice right now, man.
And the shit hard to really just be like, it's hard to really put LaMelo in the same box and be like, Oh well, LaMelo ain't had a good enough team as Haliburton, so you can't really compare him. And it's like that's true, but then when you add in the fact that like I don't think when LaMelo get hurt, I ain't saying LaMelo don't be hurt. I think like sometimes when he get hurt, it'll be like it's like they pick and choose when they want to shut him down for the season. It's like it be certain time was like, yeah, he might come back with like a month left. Might not mean nothing, but it's like, damn. I feel like they just be shutting him down or whatever, or he just shut himself down. I don't know which how that work or whatnot, but it's like he be injured so much that you can't really give him the excuse that he ain't got a good team with him. Cause like when he playing, it's like shit. I ain't got to top my head, but I wonder what record is, what their record is when playing versus when not playing. But I know, I know. I don't. It's like, do you see what trade? What trade can you see Charlotte? What trade can you see Charlotte like realistically making that'll be equal to bringing in a player like Pascal, where it's like he ain't a
They
superstar.
need to they need to do everything they can to get Turner. As I'm
Miles
looking at
Turner.
as I'm looking at Miles Turner on Indy, Miles Turner might be expensive. Somebody might offer him a lot of money. Try to get a Nas Reed, something like that. But I would go for Turner. If you can't get Turner, get Nas Reed. But with Turner, I think Indiana might not want to pay all that money. Because they the way Carlisle mixing and mastering the roster, they don't got to pay him no 100 something plus 200, whatever the hell they did. The hell no, they don't. They can go get somebody off the street and put them in the system. I mean, they don't have to do that. So half the time they take his ass out anyway and bring in Toppin and Siakam. They close the game. So I really think Turner's a player who could be had. And you put him in there with LaMelo, shit, it's time to go to the playoffs.
I don't think Turner that type. Well, I mean, who they
I
got on the
do.
roster? They got
He just coming out that system with Carlisle. He's a winner coming from off the finals. As long as he's healthy, he should be able, and he'll have a bigger role in Charlotte.
But see, that's the thing right there. I don't think he need a bigger role. I think the role that he play,
Get called.
I think the role he playing now is the role that put him best. Like if you telling me
That was a
I'm gonna
good
bring
one.
Turner in and then I'm gonna bring somebody else in, it's
Yeah.
like okay, cool, I can see that shit. But Turner by himself is like I know because like you gonna
He's
have
trying to
them
be the number
games.
2 option out there in Charlotte. That's gonna be a
Yeah, nah,
problem.
that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. I swear they gonna need somebody else. They get it's like certain like well, if they're bringing Turner, it's gonna be a lineup of him and Turner. That's cool on his face enough to be like, oh well, we ain't gonna be the worst team in the East, but we gonna be in that 10th, 11th running every year. No, that's how I see the roster they got right now with LaMelo and Brandon Miller and shit. At some point, if y'all pick up well, if they pick up Turner, they ain't, I don't think they gonna be able to keep Miles Bridges. But it's like, who you gonna bring in with that? Like, shit. Do you take a risk on an older KD for a season or two with LaMelo and Miles Turner? I
Yes.
can see that going like an eighth, ninth seed in
So
playoff.
it's time to win. I mean, do whatever you have to do. If you got to let go of Bridges in order to get to the playoffs, you got to do what you have to do. Or what the hell you gonna keep them there and do nothing?
That's a
Do whatever
fact.
we have to do. At this point, man, ain't nobody safe.
Yeah.
Or
So
they can
think
just
about it.
face the
If you got
rebuild.
if you got Mark Williams at the center and you bring KD in, KD can float between the 3 and the 4. Then you got a Miles Turner in there who can, like I mean, well, see that's the thing about Miles. Miles played a 4. Miles played a 5. He best at the 5 or whatever, in my opinion. So it's like if you bring him into Charlotte, that means Mark Williams either coming off the bench or he expendable.
He's probably gonna be expendable. They had his name in the trade. I mean, he ain't gonna be there forever.
But he ain't gonna be worth nothing in the trade though, because
Well,
of
that's what.
whatever his
Well,
medicals is.
well, hey, if you could bring in Turner off in free agency, you could take pennies on the dollar for Mark Williams. I mean, you got your starting center. Maybe you could trade him for a rotational piece or something. You ain't gonna get everything you was gonna get from the Lakers. But you
Yeah,
might
that's
be
true.
able to get.
That Lakers trade would have helped them out a lot better. Looking at the draft position and all that now.
Yeah, just close back and get Dalton Connect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you like them that good, just you ain't gonna get all that. Just see if you can get Dalton Connect.
Yeah, nice
Close
off
back.
off ball handler, on ball handler. From time play to play, he can score. Shit, he's still young to be developed. Or be further developed, I should say.
Yeah, I get Dalton Connect, get another wing player who can put the ball in the basket. That's all Hornets need to be doing, getting players who can put the ball in the hole. 'Cause they have a problem with that.
Shit, they should try to see if Dallas can come apart with Max Christie. Max
Whatever.
Christie, yeah, Max Christie come over. They've been hooping since he get there. Shit, Max Christie, he seemed like he been the damn star of the trade, really.
Yeah, it'd be good if they can get Cat.
Yeah, shit,
Get
Cat can be
Paul.
half for cheap now.
Yeah, I
He
mean
got bank
maybe
money and people
like
down losing
big
faith in
trade
him.
happen. Let's say like a 3 team. I mean they really need to get they need to get Zion. The Hornets. I think that'll help. If they get Zion out of him and with LaMelo, they'll be like rock stars.
I mean, yeah, that's a fact. I feel like if both of them healthy all season, I feel like that's a playoff team. Zion, whatever they got now, I think they can beat a good bit of teams. I think they'll definitely be a playing team. They'll definitely be a eighth, ninth seed fighting for that. I believe that, but they just don't be on the court enough for me. For they to even think that even like that sound good, but they don't even be on the court. It'll be basically the Clippers all over again with Paul George and Kawhi. The then Zion got all this extra shit off the court happening now, and it's like shit. I know.
Yeah, I'm just very
I
impressed.
liked that trade a couple of years ago though. I thought he would have been straight, but it seemed like he keep an injury.
Yeah, I can't believe this.
Cause you gotta think
Haliburton.
about what Haliburton ain't like he did nothing special, like as far as like ain't like he did no drastic change. He's just going from Sacramento when he couldn't really. Not saying that he couldn't beat out Fox, but I feel like the reason why they trade him instead of Fox because Fox was more established in who he been than who Haliburton been. I don't think Haliburton knows his own game until he kind of. I still don't think he really truly know his role in the NBA as far as like what is his best position, not position, but the best spot for him to make an impact on the game outside of just playing with instincts like he usually do. But I think in Sacramento, I think they look at it like, well, he don't even know he is yet. Fox, at least we know what he trying to do. We understand we can bullet philosophy around what he trying to do, even though they end up trading him anyway. But I feel like with LaMelo, man, it's like I know. It's like I can think of trades, but it's like you do want to rim running big with him. But at the same time, it's like that ain't who Cat is, but it's like, do you say I don't care about the rim running aspect of it if Cat can give us fucking 27 to 30 a night?
That's a good question.
They're gonna have to try to stock up on defenders, Cat and Melo. I feel like that's the playoff team. That ain't even a play in, that's the playoff team, Cat and Melo. Then Brandon Miller. Shit, you ain't asking Brandon Miller to do by so much now. Now he can be that third share score or damn however y'all run them. I feel like there's a lot Charlotte can do to put together a winning team. I think they look at it from a standpoint of we don't know if LaMelo gonna be healthy all season, so we do make this trade for Cat, and we do make this move to try to bring in KD two or KD out by itself or whatever iteration of team building they gonna go through. It's like I don't think they trust to make certain moves because like what if we do that and he don't even play half the season?
Right.
And you can't get rid of him because A, you don't pay him. B, shit. I ain't saying he damaged goods or nothing like that, but Another NBA team ain't gonna just trust him, and you ain't giving him up for no Luka deal. Because trading him. I wouldn't say it would be Luka level. It wouldn't be Luka level, but it'll be like, damn, he's
Bridges level.
Huh?
So it's gonna be Mikal Bridges level.
Shit. I mean, as far as the picks, no. I don't think no team giving up that much picks no more for anything uncertain. I think you need to be a for sure player. And I ain't saying that LaMelo ain't a for sure player. What I'm saying is LaMelo he don't play enough games for me to be like, okay, talent and availability met, and he's a for sure player. It's like talent there, but I know why he's getting as far as durability. So it's like I wouldn't give up all them first round picks for that, unless like a team where I have nothing. Like I got nothing. Like the Wizards. If I the Wizards, I'm giving up every first round pick I can find for LaMelo. Because if nothing else, I putting butts in the seats. But a team, any other team like that got a fan base that's still like a Vegas. They bring a team to the NBA in Vegas. And this Vegas team ain't got nobody that's worth coming to see. The NBA gonna find a way to get somebody that got a name value, got something to go to Vegas. If you look around the league, shit, a lot of the big name players down kind of move around to where you don't see Luka moving a game to Las Vegas or getting traded again. Only people I can think of that would fit the mold of young rising star traded to a bigger market or traded to another market or whatever like that would be a Ja Morant because he ain't never moved yet. LaMelo because he ain't moved yet. Because these players, I don't care how much they try to not talk about it. A lot of these players don't want to just move around from team to team to team to team to team and fuck up their legacy. Like for Durant, that shit work because I mean you kind of do look at him like a basketball assassin type, like he just hoop. So it's like it ain't hard to see him moving from jersey to jersey. But certain players want to have that. Okay, if I start my career off in Charlotte. Okay, cool. Then boy trade me to the Clippers. I don't at least stay with the Clippers until I, get some shit under my belt first. Then when you be like, I'll go to the Clippers, all that ain't work out. Let's go here. So he got to be a player that's still young, still rising, got a name, and shit. Who fits that better than LaMelo and Ja Morant and Ant? I can see a team getting started in Vegas, and they want to star player, and it's like they find a way to pry fucking Ant from Minnesota to Las Vegas, and Minnesota getting that first number one overall pick that following season, so shit, it'll be good.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Man, shout out to the Indiana Pacers, man. They cooked up. No panic. We're gonna pull back up tomorrow, man, with a live. Shout out to you, man. It's Flight Sports TV. I already know what it is.
Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.